everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the league here in Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Seahawks going up against the Cowboys. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Tonight, we're back to football. It's the Thursday opener for 2017 between the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. An early season tilt, and when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll. With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott. They'll come out in the pistol. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play.
Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice, because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, that requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run, because you want to know how you guys are going to block it.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Cliff Averill able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, come on, let's go!
3rd and long for Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Now it's Lockett. He won't go down. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
He's always been an incredible decision maker on the field. Takes care of the ball really well, puts his team in the right positions, makes sure the play calls are accurate. Also was a minor league baseball player. Didn't hit very well there. I think he made a great career choice picking football.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. The starters for the Seahawks of Seattle on the offensive side. Charles, they could use a big game from Thomas Rawls.
And they really loved what they got out of him last year, because an undrafted player is not supposed to give you nearly 6 yards a carry in production. And that's exactly what he did. They need a big game out of him, and they expect it.
First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Randy Gregory entered the league with people excited about his pass rushing skills. They continue to stay excited about his potential.
And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. To throw is Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Fresh set of downs here. Wilson, a give to Rawls. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They stay on the ground. Rolls again. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Man, it wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Will the defense dial up the pressure? Let's see. 3rd and 11. On third down, Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So on fourth down, on comes Stephen Hauschka to try and get the Seahawks 3. This from 54 yards away. And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So not exactly jubilation over on that visiting sideline, but at least a high 5 or 2 for their kicker as he gets them the first points of the night here on the opening drive.
And 3 points are not to be underestimated. You're on the road, under the lights, national TV audience. You want to come out and look good, and that's a good start right there.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. This offensive unit today, they're going to need Dez.
A full combo plate. Size, speed, toughness, not to mention incredible aggressiveness going and getting the football.
Let's go. 1, 9.
A second down throw for Prescott. Going right side, he has Winton. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Bruce Irvin is an emotional, passionate player who lives to rush the quarterback.
And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on third down.
Hey. 4 down. Let's go.
Third and short yardage. Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. Well, a free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returnable for Lockett. Oh, look at the juke. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. He'll get the football here. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game. It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
Let's go. 1-9.
On second down, Elliott. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. At 5 yards on the play there, and the drive will continue. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play. But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And the Cowboys defense, they march back out onto the field. They have a little something to build off of from last time with a 3 and out.
And what they have to build off of? Great confidence right now. Being able to stuff someone on a 3 and out, you feel like you're in control now. You're doing the dictating. They want to see if that can continue as this game progresses.
Will it continue? We'll see. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They go again with Rawls. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
It's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
So much of his game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. One receiver left, 2 to the right. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He's going to loft it deep right side. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams, 74 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Tyler Lockett now with a return. Oh, spinning away. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Our eyes shift to the defense of the Cowboys now. They're just hoping for more of the same. Last time they forced the punt that led to a score.
They flipped the field, essentially, and that's what you want to do as a defense. Make sure that you put your offense in a great position to run their offense and put the ball in the end zone. That's exactly what they accomplished.
And they accomplished that last time. What will they accomplish this go-around? Now Wilson on first down. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. A 10th carry for Thomas Rawls. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Wilson, he's got time in the pocket. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Throwing is Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right. And that's Curse for the Seattle touchdown, hauling it in. Jermaine Curse, 37 yards. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
So that'll do it for the first quarter as we kick off another season. It's the Seahawks on top here early. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
That's
what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Here's Elliott. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Again, it's Elliott. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. The tackle there by Richard Sherman.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And this one caught by Dez Bryant. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
One man in the backfield, Elliott, and he'll get it up the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, they're certainly running the ball pretty well on this drive, and all I remember as a secondary guy was if you're making a lot of tackles in a game, that's usually not good for your defense. You've got to figure out how to keep things in front of you because you know there's 3 levels, defensive line, linebackers, and into the secondary. And if the third level is leading your team in tackles, as a general rule, things aren't going so well for your defense.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running it.
Williams loses the football, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So we've got a 2nd and 5. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Oh, man. For him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down. 5 yards to go. Now Wilson. He's got Curse. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
On 2nd down, Wilson is going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
They come out here in the eye. They go, and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Rolando McClain in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
second down. Here's Wilson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down. Meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Now Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
One man on the backfield, Elliott. Prescott now on second down, surveying the field. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Third and short yardage. Prescott finding time. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was trying to get it to Ezekiel Elliott, and it's 4th and 3. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
This will be fielded at the 17. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. He was looking for Thomas Rawls there. That'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. He's got time. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
This will be caught at about the 6. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? Three-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. And he'll get it up the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys have once again taken the lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Look at the spin. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field. Try to make sure his teammates come along with him. And
the ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. 2nd down here. Wilson going to give to Rolls. And some space here. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come down here and hit you little people.
Good run there. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, 53 yards. And the Seahawks have once again taken the lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
Here's Hauschka for the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll make it second down. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy.
Here we go. 190. 190.
Second down, Prescott. Going right side, he has Witten. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Third down now following the completed pass.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
A dump off to Elliott. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
One man in the backfield, Elliott. Prescott on first down. Hits his target, Reuben Randall. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be first down, Cowboys.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And into the red zone now, and Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He's got time in the pocket. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They'll throw again. Prescott. That's caught at the 3. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Second and goal from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Prescott on 3rd and goal. That's caught at the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. And that 3-point tally now means we are even here toward the end of the second quarter.
And what a way to end the half. Put some points on the board, feel better about yourselves as a team, and you're right back to even.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. So we've got a tie game at half, and you can bet both coaches are in that locker room making adjustments and telling their guys to just keep playing hard like they did in the first half. All right, let's roll the highlights. Now 1st and 10, the quick pass, it's complete, and this will go as a touchdown. They're now on top by 4. Seahawks on offense, first quarter winding down. It's going to be Wilson to Curse on the deep ball, and it's caught for the touchdown, which takes the lead to 3. 3rd down, inches to go. Williams is going to cough up possession here. Following the fumble, Elliott's going to stay inside after the handoff, and he'd go in for the 6-yard touchdown. They're now on top by 4. Seahawks have it late in the second. He'll head up the middle on the run. He'll pick up more than 10 yards on the play. Staying late in the half. The catch is made after a quick pass, and a quick 3-play drive ends with a score. The Seahawks go up by 3.
Okay, LR, we are indeed all even as these teams come back out for the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
On 2nd down, Rawls. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Complete outright to Kurz. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I'll give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
Rolls the lone man in the backfield. Here's Wilson, and right with it here over the middle. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
First down, this is Rawls. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And he missed it. It's no good. And we will remain tied here in this third quarter.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He's going to let this one go deep. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. Third and short yardage. Prescott. He hits Randall. Complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence. Supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. Play fake. Here's Prescott. And this is Randall here over the middle. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective. I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
A 20th carry here for Elliott. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. The other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
He was looking for Terrence Williams that time, and that'll bring up second down. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
A second down throw for Prescott. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd.
Here we go. 190.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Reuben Randall, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys have broken the tie.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards.
And a loose football. Rawls loses it. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And time now for the Seahawk defense to take their spots again on the field. Last drive, touchdown surrendered. Here, see if they can stop them.
It's always a constant battle of letting the last series go, good or bad. but especially bad. Give up a touchdown. Okay, forget the finger pointing, forget the blame. Go back out and play the defense you know you're capable of and help your team out.
And probably look to the leaders, as always.
As always. They're going to be the ones going to grab some people and say, all right, let's do this thing.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Hey, boys, got four down. Let's go. Flex route.
Now Elliott fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And that is incomplete. He was looking there for Reuben Randall, and it's 4th down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. They have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now back onto the field. Here comes the Cowboys defense. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers. The offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know their takeaways on the defense.
Takeaways, man.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On second down, Wilson drops it underneath for Rawls. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's John Ryan now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam through the football and make it.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Got a little handsy there, defensive holding, Charles.
And defenders will get away with as much as you will allow. The 5-yard mark tells the officials where the line should be drawn.
They go to Elliott again. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. So 1 yard to go here on 3rd down. 1 man in the backfield, Elliott. And he'll get it up the middle. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys with a football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. Another pistol look here. Elliott. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, there really wasn't much there, but a completion is a completion. A tough 3rd down awaits them.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Bryant, the lone receiver left. Prescott, and the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Michael Bannon in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
Now a toss. This is Rawls. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now Wilson on first down. Finding time. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together to get a pass completed, yeah, you're right. The sync just wasn't there.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And he rifles one incomplete. Go down. Extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. So we just witnessed touchdown number 1 for the Rook, and certainly that's a football he's going to want for the trophy case.
Yeah, this is one that you don't spike, right? This is one you don't throw to your teammate and let them celebrate. This is one you keep for yourself, take it over to the equipment staff, and have them mark it up, put it away, and then you get it later on, and as you said, mount it in your trophy case. Fantastic. Hopefully the first of many.
5 plays there on that drive. And the gadget play gets him into the end zone. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
A first down throw for Prescott. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about his 14.
Holding. Offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? the guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. So how about that one, Charles? We haven't seen that in a while. The illegal forward pass.
The quarterbacks get so much leeway on this play that you're right, Brandon. It is very rare that we see the call come out for a legal forward pass.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect.
And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Tyrone Crawford coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. He's got time. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Randy Gregory in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They'll run with Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. but I know they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. This is Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Now Prescott. He's got time in the pocket. He completes it to Bryant. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Bruce Irvin, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
2nd down, Prescott. And this one complete to Winton over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
The defense for the Cowboys getting set to go. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3-and-out. See if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3-and-outs, that's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest, turn the ball over to your offense.
We'll see what they can do here, see if they can force another 3-and-out. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Second and 10 now. Wilson going to Rawls on the dump-off. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Play action. Now Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. 3rd down passing passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Lockett the return. Oh, nice move. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And the Cowboys defense, they march back out onto the field. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. After the interception, here's Wilson surveying the field. And Graham's got it over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And a good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Now Wilson on first down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go!
The give is to Elliott. And room there to... And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Third down, Elliott. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee. And that's at the 25. On first down, Wilson. The connection made. It's Graham. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. And quickly they get to the line. On second down, here's Wilson. Drops it underneath for Rawls. And down he'll go at the 25. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Second down now after the pass completion. Again, Wilson going to Rawls on the dump-off. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a third down. Wilson now to throw on third down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. And they get up on it quickly and spike it with just a little over 50 seconds to go. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Graham slotted out to the left. To throw again is Wilson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Throwing again here, Wilson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the fourth quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Well, but you've met fan bases. Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in week 1. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for Dallas, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Giants next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from our